Mike, we got some pictures?
Yeah. These are, well, these are, I would classify these as blob squatch pictures. You've got things in the picture that that the people who took the picture are believing to be Sasquatch. This dark shape here, for example, in this shot. These were taken near Clear Lake. And then here's some more. Here's the shot, and you see this big X tree formation. A lot of times people are finding these, and when they look around, they think they're seeing this. So this is the same picture as the enlargement.
So it'd be right here.
Yeah. And then here's some other pictures that were taken at the same location. And these also. But what they show is a little bit of movement. There's some dark shapes in here. And if you look and you locate certain elements of the pictures in common, you'll see that they don't look identical. It looks like the dark shapes, these blobby shapes, are moving. So I don't know. I still, that's got to be called a blob squatch. And people bring these kinds of things in all the time. Here's another set of pictures taken from down in down towards Mount Madonna. And these are pictures of trees that have been manipulated, apparently. Taken from several different angles. And the other day I got some shots of some footprints. And I have to say that looking at the footprints, they're in gravel. They do look to me like they're bear prints. The big giveaway and the big difference between a Bigfoot track and a bear track is the heel. A bear really has no heel. The bear track just kind of goes down to a small little point. It's shaped like a little triangle at the bottom, and it just kind of peters out. The Sasquatch track very much relies on the heel. The Sasquatch, when it steps, it puts all its weight down on its heel, and it makes heel contact firmly, and then it rolls across, and the flexible foot just kind of bends and folds over, and so it acts differently than an arched foot. And so the main emphasis you get, instead of on the toes and the instep, is on the heel, because that's when the full brunt of the weight goes down. The rest of it, as it moves, the weight gets transferred, and it's more evenly distributed. But there's usually a little bump in the center there. Of course, when you step off, it pushes up the material, the substrate. And also, quite often, when you see bear tracks, it'll appear that they only have 4 toes. And the 4 toes are kind of splayed around in a circle, as opposed to straight across, more like peas in a pod. Now, here's an interesting set of drawings that was made by a man named Bugs. I'm not going to give you his last name. He and several members of his family observed this Bigfoot on more than one occasion. And apparently they bought some land with a cabin on it and were developing the land and, you know, fixing it up and making a place to park the cars and this, that, and the other thing. And there was a creek nearby, and they would hear things down by the creek, and that's where they saw this thing. And he claimed that this guy was at least 9 feet tall. And there was an occasion where he was standing opposite it, and there was a bunch of brush between him and the Sasquatch. And the Sasquatch picked up a log, a pretty good-sized log, and just kind of pushed it over the top of the brush, and the guy had to step aside to avoid having a log land on him. And several members of the family viewed it together, so it's very interesting.